Hey everybody, this is Pastor Dana on Live at 5. We do not own the rights to that song. However, absolutely. However, we wanted to, sorry, we're changing cameras around, sorry about that. We wanted to, that means it's going to have to be turned this way. All right. Sorry guys. However, we are, sorry. Sorry. I feel like I'm like, no. Guys, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I do not like, I like for things to be done beforehand. And so I apologize for moving stuff around and trying to get this thing situated. Here we go. So hello everybody. Hey everybody. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Thank you guys for being patient with me. I appreciate you all. Now let's twist it. Okay. Next time we're gonna have it together. And it's blurry. So don't own the rights to that song. I have been listening to this song probably for 3 days now by awesome woman of God, Pastor Prashia Hilliard, and just love her CD. Actually, just love her. Period. Don't know her personally, but I've kind of watched her over the years, and just phenomenal woman of God. And so this song has just blessed my life, and wanted to share it with you guys today. And the song is called Great Things. So when you guys get the opportunity, listen to it. It's called Great Things by Prashia Hilliard. And I gotta tell you, the reason why I wanted to play that song was because, you know, we're on this journey to greatness. You know, when we talking about, because yesterday we said that we were going to be talking about personal growth and development. And so we've been on this journey. When you came out and you started walking, you know, when you were born, when I say you came out, when you were born, when you started talking and walking and being aware of things, you started your journey. And so I need my other, that's all right, let me pull it up on here. You started your journey in the side drawer in the old office. You started your journey, I'm sorry guys. And this journey is going to produce growth. It's going to produce growth. We have no other choice but to grow. And so with that, I want you all to know how excited I am to see you all and myself growing and doing things that the Father has given us to do, becoming our authentic selves. And let me tell you something. It's something about being your authentic self. It's something about being your authentic self. So All right, guys, now I can see you guys. I couldn't see you guys before. I'm in my new office. I don't have any pictures up or anything. Something bit me. I don't have any pictures up or anything. Hello, 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 everybody. Hey, 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 my online manager. um, but walking in your authentic self, to me, is probably, thank you so much, is probably the greatest reward that anybody can have and anybody can achieve, I should say. And so I want to encourage you all in that area. And again, those of you who meet me on PD Chronicles at 6 in the morning, we're on this journey to health and wellness, right? So what better thing to do personal development and growth while we're on this journey? Because everything, I say this, and I've preached this too, or said this in my preaching. It's no sense in us having a changed heart and our mind is all messed up. No sense in us having a changed heart and changed mind, and your perspective, or not your perspective, but how you look at your body. Let me say that is all messed up, because some of us, we don't like how we look in certain things, in our shirts or in our dresses or in our pants. We can change that, right? But it's no sense in having, those other two all together and then this be messed up, because in actuality, that really says that maybe my mind ain't together, because now I'm thinking about how I don't like myself. It's just a lot of things, right? So we got to make sure that we are, one, balanced, and two, making sure that everything is working together. All right? So, hey. Don't worry about it. It's all good. So good to see everybody on. Hello, Zoe. Good to see you. Hello, everybody. It's good to see everybody. Those of you who are new to Live at 5, thank you for joining me. You are now Live at 5. Just like that, you have been deputized. So thank you for joining me. So I want to first talk about what personal development or personal growth and development is. And of course, I look up everything. So we always have the clinical, or I don't know if it would be clinical definition, but we always have a definition. Let me say that. So what is personal growth and development for those who may not know? For those who may not know, and then for those that do, this may be a refresher for you, right? So personal development is also known as self-development or self-growth. It involves the growth and enhancement of all aspects of the person. The feelings of the person has about him or himself or herself, and their effectiveness in living. So personal development, which is what we were just talking about prior to me reading the definition, is how you look at you, how you perceive you, how you feel about you, your effectiveness in living. It's about this growth process, right? So, of course, I do my research. Hey, Coach Ryan, I need you to call your boy, please. And then maybe I'll call you afterwards, because I want to tell you some things, and I need for Kobe to make the right decision. Y'all excuse me. So I did my little research on personal development. So I want to read to you some things that I pulled out about personal development. Personal development is, now here we go with this word again, guys. And those of you who, again, are with me at 6 a.m. in the morning when we're doing our morning walk, you all have heard this word. Personal development is the process of achieving and expanding your full potential. Those of you who know about SLIM Ministries, Speak Life International Ministries, which is my ministry, you also know that Speak Life is a ministry that encourages, empowers people to be their authentic selves. Authentic selves. And so personal development and being your authentic selves is a process of achieving and expanding your full potential. You know, it's this process. For me to be who I am, right? There is this process. And listen, a fine wine, you guys, is not rushed. I hope y'all are getting this, and I hope, you know, folks are not offended, you know, talking about wine, you know. But a fine wine is not rushed. There is a process, and it takes time. It takes time for it to ferment and all of those things. It takes time. You know, I'm talking about a really, really good wine. It takes time. And because of that, it goes through a process. Remember what process is. Process is a series of involuntary changes. Again, and you guys have heard me say this before, that when it says involuntary changes, there are some changes that take place just because they have to. That is its what I want to say. That's the cycle, or that's the nature of how things progress. So I gave an example the other morning about maybe it was at Live F5, I'm not sure, about a child growing yesterday, about a child growing, right? This growth is involuntary. It just happens. It's automatic. It happens. It has to happen. Remember yesterday I said that the body must conform to the growth. And so, you know, we must conform to how we're growing. Now, here's the thing. Now, spiritually, right? So when God begins to speak to us, and when he gives us what we need, right? We can, because this is important, we can take what's been given, right? Apply that to our lives, because we've talked about that. Apply that to our lives, right? And when we apply something, when we apply principles, it causes change to take place. But we have to apply those principles, right? So it is important when we are talking about this personal growth and development. Again, when we get information about ourselves, and trust me, and I said yesterday, we know us. You know yourself. I'm gonna say it. You know you. You know the good, the bad, and the ugly. In order for any of those things to change, we've got to have a plan. Got to have a plan. Now, let me say this, because Dr. Will said that he was speeding. You better, Coach Ron, you better come on here. He said, y'all can see what he said. He said, during the process, experiences build character traits. Absolutely. 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 But here's the thing. If we don't apply what we need to apply in this process, it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. We will just be, I like to call it the walking dead. You got to apply things to your life. In order for you to live, and I'm talking about living on purpose, I'm talking about having a life that is full of joy and excitement and experiences and all of that. There has to be some application. It's like this. If I go to school and sit in the classroom and don't apply what I learned, it doesn't mean anything. I won't graduate. I won't get to the next, right? And then there is no developing of who I am. This character that Dr. Will, you just need to come on. This is Takeaway Tuesday. I crack myself up. There's no building of this character, this authentic you. And honestly, can I tell y'all something? Let me just talk about myself, right? For 2 seconds. I want to be all of what I was created to be. I'm telling y'all, every aspect of my life, I don't want to, as Coach Barry says when he talks to the basketball players. I told y'all that, basketball is my love, so I will always use basketball analogies, period, or movies, maybe food, because I like to eat too. Y'all can tell because I'm getting fat. But at any rate, Coach Barry always uses specific analogies, in reference to growth when he's talking to the basketball team. And one of the things, I just lost my train of thought. Well, one of the things that is vitally important is that, I know what I was going to say, is that you can gain all the skill and the knowledge of playing basketball, right? You can get all of that stuff. You can sit and you can hear it, but if you don't apply it when you are in practice, so you on the floor playing a game, you really can be just a playground legend, not going anywhere, not doing anything, because you did not apply principles. Now, here's the thing, not just basketball principles, right? We talking about life principles. Things that will, again, like Coach Ron said, things that will build who you are, that will build character. And let me say this too, because I hear folks always talk about, I don't want to go through nothing. Let me tell you something. Trials build character. The Bible says it was good for me that I was afflicted so I could learn. I want to learn. I don't know about y'all, but I want to learn. I want to learn. What do I want to learn? I want to learn everything that I'm supposed to learn, right? So that I can be all of what I am supposed to be. Period. That's what I want. It's already done. And Dr. Will said, it's already done. But we have to make sure that, one, we are applying what it is that we are supposed to be applying. So I had some quotes that I wanted to share with you. So here's one. Now let me just say this to y'all. Pastor Dana don't always pronounce people's names right. So charge it to my head and don't charge it to my heart, right? So here's one. I'm going to just spell his last name. T-Z-U. Tzu, I guess. All right. He said this. He said, or she, I don't even know, because I don't know. Let me just read it. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. Most people really have not mastered themselves. Most people don't really even know who they are. Don't know who they are. They know what they do, but not really know who you are. Dr. Will, this is when I need you. So you can add some of that stuff that you do. But they don't know who they are. And sometimes, so let me unpack this just a little bit. Sometimes knowing or getting to know you is a little painful. because you now have to unpack and unwrap all of the stuff that you may have hidden for a very long time. Some folks don't want to revisit anything, but in order to move forward, sometimes I gotta unpack the stuff that keeps me bound to where I've been. Let me say it again. Sometimes you gotta unpack the stuff that keeps you bound to where you've been. Let me tell you why you have to unpack it. And this is not in any of my notes, I promise y'all. The reason why you have to unpack it is because it is going to be used as a stepping stone into where you're going. If I have had a tumultuous childhood, right? And as I grow as an adult, I'm seeing things and I'm learning things. If I allow those things of my childhood to choke my future, I'll never get to the destined place that God has for me. So what God allows is for us to be healed from those things, right? And then we begin to use them as a stepping stone into this destined place that we all of us have been called to do something, but that we all have been called that all of us have been called to do. But if we keep tripping over, the past and what happened to me and how it happened, if we keep, if we keep tripping over those things, and not really dealing with them. Sometimes folks trip over and they kick it out the way as if to say, thank you, Dr. Will, as if to say, yeah, I'm not gonna pay it no attention. I'll deal with that later. Y'all know how we do. I'll deal with that later. No. And then later turns into 5 years, and 5 years turns into 10, and 10 turns into 30, and you're 35, 40 years old, and you haven't dealt with what you needed to deal with that happened in your past. No matter what it is. And sometimes it's just the neglect of yourself. And then you grow up neglecting you. So again, what time is it, y'all? I want to make sure I'm staying. Ooh, it's 5:25. So again, we're talking about personal development, right? So let me give you, so this is Takeaway Tuesday, although we don't have Dr. Will, right? So let me give you a takeaway. Know you. Know yourself. Know yourself. I'm writing this down, right? Know yourself. Unpack your baggage. Unpack your baggage. All right? So let me say this. Absorb what is useful and discard what is not, and add what is uniquely your own. So in this unpacking of yourself, in your personal development, in all of this, there will be some things that you need, Lord have mercy, to get into your destiny. Use absorb what is useful. When you absorb something, you take it in, you process it, right? You process it. Whatever the process is. Now remember, let me say this, and I don't want to be, what's the word? I don't want it to sound nasty, right? When you eat processed foods and it's got to come out because you may have eaten the wrong thing, it doesn't smell good, right? So here's the thing. I'm going to absorb all of what I need to absorb and excrete All of what I need, did that make any sense to anybody? I cracks my own self up, I'm trying to tell y'all. Right? So make sure that you are absorbing what you need to absorb that's going to be beneficial to you moving forward. That's going to be your stepping stone, right? And then discard what you don't need. This was a while back, and I was talking about getting rid of certain things, certain people. Listen, let me just say this. Let me say this. I don't want or need stress in my life. We all not want stress in our lives. Anything or anybody that causes me stress, deuces, eliminate it. And it doesn't mean that I don't love you or care about you or whatever. I say what I need to say and I keep it moving. When I see you on the street, hey, how you doing? But I don't need stress in my life. I don't need stressful things in my life. When it came to moving and listen, what I could do, I did. What I could not do, I did not do. Period. Don't need it. I remember even as far as my children are concerned. You know, you guys heard me this morning sharing my story about my son. And even, excuse me, sometimes even that, you know, being a single mom and, you know, trying to make ends meet and, you know, all that good stuff. Here's my thing. I have faith. I know that God will always take care of me. Best believe I don't stress over it. Don't stress over it. You know, we were looking at, and this is just by way of example, we were looking at some information that Kobe got in for school. And, you know, this is his senior year, so they go on their international trip. And it's 2 places that they're supposed to go to. One is $1,500. The other is $2,500. Now, I don't just have one son, I have 2. And I looked at it and I'm saying, So, you know, in Kobe fashion, Mom, that's a lot of money. And I said, well, it is what it is. We'll get it and we'll be fine. You'll go to this international trip. Again, I cannot allow anything to stress me. So I get rid of it. So it then speaks to my faith. This is the adding to, right? It speaks to my faith. And so now I have to add this component to my life. This is for my personal development and growth. Because the next time something comes around that's huge and big, I can say, well, wait a minute. God did that. I got through that. I'll get through this. That's growth. That's growth. All right. So, okay, I was looking to see. So, takeaway 2. When you are adding to your life, when you are adding to your life, make sure that it is beneficial to your destiny. So that means I'm excluding things that's not beneficial to my destiny. So takeaway 2, when adding to your life, make sure it's beneficial to where you're going. Gotta be beneficial. Gotta be beneficial. My faith works for me. Because when I am consistent in believing and trusting God, it works for me. It works for me. Y'all hearing me? I sound like I've been talking about my spiritual mom. I really miss her. But it works for me. All right, so personal development is a journey, not a destination. It's a journey. We don't just arrive and we're done. I say this all the time, and this will be takeaway 3. When you cease to learn, you cease to grow. I'm going to say it again. This is takeaway 3. When you cease to learn, you cease to grow. Learning is part of this development. I'm learning, I'm adding to, I'm taking away. I am processing, I am expanding. But when you stop doing that, you stop growing. It is important that we don't, and I said this, here's an example. I said this to someone a couple weeks ago. They're getting married. And I said, the challenge that I have with folks getting married, even myself when I got married, is that we prepare for this day, but we forget about the lifetime that we're going to be living. People, and I don't knock it. My wedding wasn't big, but I had a wedding. We get ready and we spend all kinds of money on the day, but we don't buy a house so that we have somewhere to live. We don't prepare for that. We don't start saving, while I'm single, not just going out splurging. Y'all, this is personal development, right? We don't think about those things. We think about the here and the now, what I want right now. Well, what about what you are supposed to have in the future? Do we have a plan? And we'll talk about that tomorrow. Do we have, I think I wrote it down. Do you have a plan for your personal growth? Here's another thing. What do you plan to do in the next 3 months? What do you plan to do in the next 3 years? What do you plan to do in the next 10 years? What does that look like? We need to start thinking about those things. I was having a conversation with Keisha the other day, and I said, so I done bought this house, right? There's 3 more I have to buy. 3 more I have to buy. I need to set my children up so that, 1, there is this residual income for them. 2, because I want to show them that you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. It's about planning. We don't plan well, as a people. Not y'all, but we know people. All right? So, it is 5:35, and I got to go, because I'm going home to cook dinner tonight, y'all. I'm going home to cook tonight. No takeout tonight, Lord Jesus. Even though it's not a bad thing, but no takeout tonight. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Again, those of you who are new to Live at 5, you are a Live at 5er. That's how we do. And we love you for it. I thank you guys for, again, just being with me today, as we are going to be, and we're going to continue to talk about personal growth and development, building character, building your muscles. It's important, all right? I love you. I will see you guys tomorrow right here with yours truly on Live at 5. Peace.